Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free header and footer template for Divi's Italian restaurant layout pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve, so without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. Scroll down until you get to this place which says get it for free today. Click on here. And then you also want to add your email address, click on download, and then download the files. Next, we need to unzip the file. So I'm going to click here and show in Finder. So here is my file here. So what I'm going to do is to double click on it to unzip this file. And now we have this template. So I'm going to go deep into this template, and this is the file that we're going to be using in a moment. So I'm just going to drag it over here to my other screen. So what I'm going to do next is to go to my website. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure you're in the admin dashboard. So I'm going to log into my WordPress admin, enter my username and password. And now I can scroll all the way down here to Divi and then click on Theme Builder. Next, it's time to add our template. So I'm going to come over here, click on Portability, click on Import, and making sure that these two items are checked. Now we need to add this file that we downloaded earlier on. So all I have to do now is to drag it over here like that. Click on Import Divi Theme Builder Template. Now, another way of navigating to your downloaded file is to just click over here, and this will take you to your folders. All right, so I'm going to click on Import Theme Builder Templates. So before I save, let's take a look and see how our header looks like. So this is the default header that we get when we install Divi. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and this is our footer. So now when we save changes in our theme builder, if we come back over here now to our site and refresh, you can see now that we have a new footer. And let's scroll all the way to the top. And this is our header. So if I click here, you can see it opens up, and this is beautiful. So now that we have this all set, the next step now is to show you how you can go in and customize this header and footer. So to customize it, I'm going to go back to our theme builder. So let's start with the header. So with the header, I'm going to click on this pencil icon. All right. So first things first, I'm going to go into my background here. So I'm going to click here on background, and you can see here that this is transparent, but if you want to add a color, you can see the color now has been added right there at the top. But you know what? We're going to leave this like that. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here. Next, let's take a look at our row. Now you can see here that it's quite difficult for me to select my row. So what I'm going to do is to go to my layers by clicking on expand settings. And then I'm going to click my layers here. So we have two sections. We have this very first one, and you can see it's highlighted there at the top. And then we have this bottom one, and it's also highlighted. So what I want to do now is to click on section settings. So this now is going to give us access to our background. And here we can see that we have this image, which we can see over here. So if you want, you can delete this image altogether, and you're just left with the background. And if you wish, you can add a solid color just like that. And this could be your customization to your main menu. So that's what we can do over here on the background. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, I'm going to expand this so I can see further what I can customize. So over here, we have this column. So let's go ahead and click on this gear icon. So in this column, there's a few elements. Now there's a quick way of finding out where changes are made, and that is by clicking here on filter and then clicking on modified styles. So here we can see that what has been changed is just the padding, which is both on the top and the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to close out of here. Let's move on to the next column. And in this column here, we have a few items here. So when I hover over here, you can see that we have a text module there. Let's go ahead and make changes to that. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and this is going to open up our text settings. So if you want to change the link to this menu, all you have to do is to highlight it, and then you want to click on this chain icon, and this is where you would add your link to whatever page you want to link to. So I'm going to cancel. Let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to close out of here. And for the next one, I can click on this gear icon and go into my other text module. If I highlight this, again, I can click on this chain icon. This is where I'll add my booking page. Cancel that. So all these are pretty much the same. You can go in and add all that. Right, so what I'm going to do next is to show you where you can make changes to your divider. So to make changes to the divider, you want to click here on the divider. And what you can do here is to change the colors. So I'm going to come over here to the line, and you can see here we have this bright yellowy color. So I can change that. So you can see as I'm going through this, it is changing. So this is how to change each and every one of these. Okay, let me close out of that. Now let's go to our other column here. So in this column, if I click on my text module here, this is where we have this text which says make a reservation. So again, I can highlight that, and over here I can add my link to the reservation page. Now let's say you want to change the text. All you have to do is to click on design text, and you can go in now and change that font. So let's say you want to go with Poppins, you can just set it up like that. And if this is the main font on your website, this is how you can match it all up. And what you can also do here is to adjust the size. So you can see now that the size is much better. And while we're here, we can also go to the background, and this is how this image was added. So to take a look at the image, here it is. I can delete it here and add another one. So let's say I need to add something completely different. I can just add my image like that, and you can see my image has been added. If you want to customize the gradient, you can just click here on the gradient, and this is where you would go and make changes to your gradient. But for now, we're going to leave it as it is. And the same applies over here. If you want to make changes to this, just click on this gear icon. And again, for our menu, you can link your menu over here. And once you've linked your menu, you can also go to the background, click on the third tab and change your image as well. And you can also play around with the gradient. So let's close out of here. Next, we have this image here. So this is representing our logo. So I'm going to click over here, and you can change this as well. So you can just click in here and choose a different logo by just selecting that like that. So now you can see I've replaced the main logo with the Divi one, but I'm not going to commit to that. So I'm going to close out of here. So pretty much this is where you'd make your changes to your header. So now I'm going to close out of here, discard and exit because I don't want to make any changes to this. Next, I'm going to go to my global footer so I can show you how to make changes to the footer. All right, so here we are on our footer. So first things first, let me show you how you can change this image. So this is pretty much what we did earlier on when we were taking a look at our header. So you want to click on section settings and go to background. And here is where we have our image. So we can delete that, and that texture now is gone. Okay. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, let's take a look at this text and how we can change this. So now this text is our takeout and delivery, and we can see here it's set to heading 2. So what you want to do is to come over here to design, heading text, and make sure you're on the heading 2 tag. And this is where you can change the font to whatever font you want. And then over here as well, you can go in and change the size. Okay. So that's how you change that text. Over here, we have our opening hours. So let's go ahead and let's make some changes to this. So this is just a text module. So if I highlight this, you can see this is set to heading 4. So to make changes to this, you can target heading 4 by coming over here to design, heading text, making sure heading 4 is selected. You can start changing this. So you can see hours here has been changed. So this is where you change your colors and also change your font. So I can choose, let's say, Poppins. And then the rest of the text here can also be changed by coming over here. I'm going to choose Poppins. And you can also make the text a bit bigger by just playing around with the sizes here. So this is where you make your changes. I'm going to close out of here. And the same applies to this. This is a text module, so it operates the same as this one right here. Next, we're going to take a look now at our social follow. So I'm going to click here on my module settings. And here you can see we have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So let's say you want to add a brand new one. I'll just duplicate this, click on this gear icon, and on this drop down, I can then choose the one I want. So let's say I want to add Skype. I can just add it like that. Now we can see here that this one here has this background color. Now to get rid of it, you can just right click and click on reset item styles. So that removes the background, and now we have all our icons looking the same. All right, so I'm going to delete this. Now while we're here, the next important thing is to go in and add your links. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, click on link, and this is where you want to add your link to your social media page. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to go out of here. So let's say you want to change the colors of the icons. To do that, you want to come over here to design, click on icon, and this is where you would change your colors. So you can see as soon as I start clicking here, all the colors are updating, and this is where you would pretty much match your social media icons with your color palette. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, I'm going to take a look here at this email opt-in. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and now I am in my email opt-in options. The very first thing you want to do for this to work is to head over here to email account. Make sure that you choose your service provider. Now there's quite a lot to choose from. So you can see here we have MailChimp, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, and so on, Fluent CRM. So once you add that, you want to select your list over here. And once you've selected your list, you can just click on add. And every time people add their email address, they'll be added onto your email autoresponder. Next, what you may also want to do is to add your success action. So this is where you can add a message here when someone submits or subscribes, or you can redirect to a specific page, which you can then type over here. Now, a quick tip here is you need to create the page first before you can add it over here. It just makes things easier. All right, so pretty much that is how you customize your email opt-in. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, we're going to take a look at this row. So I'm going to click on my row settings, click on background, and this is where our main color is. So you can see as I'm changing this, this is where you'd go in quickly and change that background color. So I'm going to get out of that. And all these are text modules, and these can be updated pretty much similar to how I showed you here. Next, let's take a look here at the bottom. So again, this is our row setting, and if we click on background, this is our main background color. So we can change this to whatever color we want. And once we've changed our color, we can then save this, but we're not going to do that for this example. And then finally, we also have this text, which you can go in and customize by coming over here to design text. And then you can just change the defaults like that. I've changed it to pop-ins. You can change the colors as well. So pretty much this is how you can go in and customize your footer. All right, so I'm not going to commit to any changes that I've done on this footer. So I'm just going to discard and exit. So now let's take a look at our header and footer. So if I click here, you can see now this is our header. When I hover, this is our hover color. Okay, so I'm going to close out of that. And when I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see now that this is our footer. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.